Measuring 843 acres, Central Park is larger in landmass than the Principality of Monaco, which is just under 500 acres large. Despite the large scale of the park in relation to the tiny nation, there are actually parks in New York City that are even bigger, including Flushing Meadows Corona Park in Queens, which is 898 acres, and the Staten Island Greenbelt, which comprises a 2,800-acre network of connected parks and trails. Central Park is on a rectangular plot bounded by 5th and 8th Avenues on the west and east, and 59th and 110th Streets on the north and south. The perimeter of the park stretches 6 miles and contains within it 26 baseball fields, 7 bodies of water, and 58 miles of pathways. Fact number 3. Central Park is the first publicly landscaped park in the country. In the mid-19th century, New York's elite, who admired Europe's well-tended public parks, like those in London and Paris, proposed a similar space in their crowded city that would provide inhabitants with culture, fresh air, and exercise. After years of debate, the New York legislature purchased a swath of land between 59th and 106th Streets. When plans were approved for Central Park in 1853, it was the first major landscaped public park in the entire United States. A design contest was held in 1858, and a duo named Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Beau won the competition with their greensward plan. Greensward is a 19th century term for lawn. The greensward plan envisioned a harmonious balance between natural and man-made elements, an artificially crafted environment that mimicked a natural landscape with a mixture of sweeping meadows, large bodies of water, and formal gardens, but that also included terraces, bridges, and sunken roadways that would allow carriages to travel through the park without interrupting the pedestrians. But not everything in the park was in that original plan. Before the park was built, the land on which it was constructed was occupied by nearly 2,000 people who were living at that location. Residents of the central Manhattan area the park took over included Irish pig farmers and German gardeners who had built shanties at the site. The building of Central Park also erased a middle-class African-American neighborhood called Seneca Village, displacing more than 250 people of color and immigrants. Today, Central Park is known as America's first major landscaped park. Fact number 5. Over 9,000 wooden benches dot the massive park. Of Central Park's more than 9,000 benches, nearly half of them have been adopted and emblazoned with a personalized plaque. The Adopt a Bench program was established in 1986 to help fund the care and maintenance of the park's landscape and benches. Any person or group can adopt a bench for the price of $10,000. Donors get to choose the location of the bench they want to adopt and add a 120-character inscription. From marriage proposals and simple memorials to witty quotes and inside jokes, donors can write virtually anything on the plaque. Though the Central Park Conservancy can deny inscriptions it deems inappropriate, plaques can be customized with 4 different typefaces and different sized fonts. The New York Times ran a piece in 2016 highlighting some of the most unique bench inscriptions, like the mysterious 2 red foxes and a pup, a plaque that would make sense only to the members of the May family. If you're not into benches, you can also endow a tree, which comes with an engraved paving stone at the southern end of Literary Walk. Fact number 6. Central Park is the most filmed location in the world. Central Park's varying landscapes, gardens, and architecture make it a desirable location to shoot movies and television shows. The park has appeared in hundreds of movies, dating back to 1908, when the first cinematic version of Romeo and Juliet became the first movie to ever be shot on its grounds. From classic rom-coms like When Harry Met Sally and holiday favorites like Elf to action films like The Avengers and I Am Legend, Central Park has been the backdrop of musical numbers, fight scenes, and meet-cutes. I think my favorite Central Park scene is in Enchanted when they're doing the big musical number. In addition to making appearances on the big screen, Central Park frequently appears in the dozens of television shows that are set and shot in New York City. Fact number 7. The lampposts. Throughout Central Park, the lampposts actually serve as navigational tools to prevent people from getting lost. The posts display white spray painted numbers that correspond to the nearest street. For instance, if you're near 72nd on the west side, the poles will read W72. The lamps themselves also recently underwent an eco-friendly makeover as they successfully installed nearly 1,600 LED lights in Central Park, a move intended to reduce energy usage by more than 60% and save the park almost $30,000. Fact number 8. The estimated cost of developing Central Park was just over $1 million, but in the end, the bill was up to $7.39 million. Alaska, bought around the same time of the park's creation, was priced at $7.2 million. So Central Park cost the United States more than Alaska. Fact number 9. New animal species have been discovered in Central Park. Thanks to the Central Park Zoo and exotic visitors faceless individuals might have mailed in census forms. Well, that's all